Mr. Mayor, those are all the comments we have.
Okay, thank you very much, Madam City Clerk. We'll go ahead and close the public hearing and open it up for council comments and/or a motion. Councilmember Alexander, I believe you might have a comment.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. So just a couple comments on this. First, I just want to thank you for your presentation. You've put this out to us many times as it's been going through over the last year, and it's very informative. And having sat through the meeting today, I was able to pick up on more things that are concerns for me coming from the state, not necessarily from our staff, because you guys are doing a great job. I know that there are people who need housing, but at the same time, I know that there are people who move into this city because we are not overpopulated, because I came from New York City. I came from an area that was massively overpopulated, and we moved here to raise our family because we wanted to have a little bit of space. So I want to also be able to, highlight those families that have uprooted and came here because this is what they were moving to, as far as something beautiful and just having space. The other thing that I'm looking at, a couple other things with it, is the highlights of looking at what about our waste. We already have plans throughout the city as far as how much in population how much waste can be pushed out, how much water. It's going to take a lot more for planning to be able to create, I don't know, like a new system. I would look at. I mean, we looked at Old Town here, and we would have to create a whole new sewer system just to add a couple more people on the to sit outside, and that was some of the things that we looked at. So for me, that's another concern. Parking, schools. Our schools are already just overpopulated, and so now we're just going to stick more kids into these areas. And again, staff is doing a great job. My concerns coming from the state. We've spent millions on traffic, for the I-15. Is it just going to reclog everything up that we've just put phase 1 going into phase 2, and now we're hoping to go into phase 3? And so all these concerns are just really just in my mind, and I just want to be able to highlight. One of the things that one of the staff members brought up also is for the 3-year affidavit. I'm going to just come right back to you. Can you explain that to me one more time as far as what that looks like for me?
Yeah, so a homeowner is required to sign an affidavit that they're going to live in the property for 3 years. They can do that. It gets recorded with the deed, but then it comes back to enforcement. It's a difficult thing to enforce. So if you have a property owner who decides to move, they can sign the affidavit and they can move and rent that place.
So it means really nothing. As for right now, as far as how we can see to even try to enforce it, it's
Correct.
A piece of paper.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the last thing is I just want to encourage, if there's any HOAs, people who are on HOA boards, if there's anybody who wants to even go to their HOA, I would very much encourage that you bring this up to the HOAs as what this looks like for SB9. If you guys have questions, please come down to myself or city staff to get an understanding of what this is going to look like and how you can get ahead of this in your own HOAs possibly. So, and that's going to go back to the CCRs, which is the conditions, covenant, and restoration. So again, if you guys have questions for HOAs, we'd love to be able to work with you on those areas as well to be able to just take a deeper look at what that looks like for your community. So thank you.
Great, thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Stewart?
Yeah, I was just going to add to that is, this is a very well planned out community. And everything we've done in the city, we did it for a particular reason. And this is it AB9? SB9?
SB9.
SB9. SB9 is a complete polar shift on city planning. And so without us taking the time to actually figure out how we can implement this without major impacts, A, to our roads, B, to our infrastructure, it could be a time bomb just going to blow up in our face. So that's why we're pushing this out. We want more time. I'm on the WRCOG committee. So we're looking at this. We're trying to find ways to make this work. We're not trying to find ways to make it not work, but we got to find ways to make it work for our city and our citizens. So So that's what I just want people to understand. We're not saying no. We're not standing up here, wanting to push back. We just want to make sure we do it right for the city of Temecula. So
That's a good point, doing it
Yeah.
right for the city of Temecula. Good points, Mayor Pro Tem. At this point, I'll certainly entertain a motion to move this item.
so moved.
I'll read the title.
Thank you.
This would be an interim urgency ordinance of the City Council of the City of Temecula, California, extending interim urgency ordinance number 2022-03, establishing emergency regulations pursuant to Government Code Section 65858 on urban lot splits and housing units built in accordance with Senate Bill 9, and making a determination of exemption pursuant to Government Code Section 65852.21J in California Environmental Quality Act, CEQA Guidelines, Section 15061B3.
Thank you very much. Looks like we've all
And
voted.
Councilmember Alexander, would you like to go ahead and vote? Is your vote screen up?
It is now.
Okay. Mr. Mayor, that is unanimous.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Matt, thank you for the presentation. Much
Thank you.